Chapter 13. A Journey Back to the Mother City. Now the new year reviving old desires, the thoughtful soul to solitude retires. Omar Khayyam. Dear hearts and nigger manics, I journeyed back one day to the Mother City, my nigger son, as all souls go back to try and find their beginnings. I went back for the Mardi Gras, for this is the day distinctive to our city alone. It is commensurate to the Christians' Christmas and their Easter. We might even associate it with the latter, for it is Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday, which our Christians acknowledge as the commencement of the Lenten season. We might even consider the Mardi Gras a day of respite just prior to submitting abstinence from life as advocated by our Christian church. Of course, now the hierarchy of the Mother Church will quickly belie it, even though she at one time condoned and partook to it. But long since she has altered her position by dragging forth from the aged brown pages of her encyclopedia ancient lines to explain her position on the Carnival Mardi Gras. No appeal to vague and consistent traces of pagan custom seems to be needed to explain the general observance of a carnival celebration. It is intelligible enough that before a long period of deprivations, human nature should allow itself some exceptional license in the way of frolic and good cheer. Even though in this explanation the Mother Church sees fit to grant human nature some exceptional license in the way of frolic and good cheer, such license has disappeared from our celebrations of Mardi Gras and the city. For no longer is the Mardi Gras as it once was in the beginning, the day that care forgot. Today the old city lies buried beneath tons of hate and hypocrisy, white concrete and cornstarch myth. Racial intolerance is now the future to bury the past memories, thin black kind and alabaster children mixed and mingled, fulfilling the passions which their everyday life had denied them. For now the alabasters are taught shame for the libertine adventures which took place in the dark corners, alleys, and doorways of the city, which marked the celebration of this carnival. Whereas the children of the city make gestures and efforts to keep memory of the Mardi Gras alive, my nigger son, they had driven our black kind from the city. Now they seek to revive the day with tinsels and Latin paintings of gaudy colors, knowing well that its actual colors are those of life, graded bloodsheds of very human skin pigments, made so through generations and racial intermixture. Their famous parades of the Mardi Gras has become almost as funeral processions, only more grotesque, for our black kind have been denied participation. The parades of the Mardi Gras seem now but as sideshows of a small-time poverty-stricken circus. The maskers aboard the floats of glitter foil and tinsels resemble cheap Cupid dolls, prizes at a county fair. Our dead zombies and lifeless marionettes worked on the strings of an unseen puppet master. Gone are the odors of life and its friction with human flesh pressing it together. The excitement and heat of desire, lust, human musk and sweat, perfume, and breaths of stale drink, food, and tobacco. Ah, but no more, as once I remember, does the young nigger brother stand dreamily pressed amid the parade, watching throngs on Canal Street, enjoying the thrill of an erection, while the fingers of an equally young Caucasian sister secretly sought and freed the penis from his pants fly, clutched and caressed it while her eyes flashed debauchery and desire. From behind the cover of her Mardi Gras face mask, winked with amusement as her unwary Caucasian escort stood, waving intently to catch her a souvenir trinket from one of the passing parade floats. Oh, but for the days which they have now grown ashamed of, recollections of Mardi Gras revelry, when the fever of desire and lust burned at the entrails of the city's children, as glowing charcoals, almost transforming their dung into ashes, reducing their flesh and their souls to acceptance of the last common denominators between man and woman, despite color. But I recall more of the intolerance, my nigger son, as heaped upon us by our Caucasian cousins of the city. With an odious weight in my chest, I remember the hypocrisies, the shame, and cruelties addressed to our black kind males by these cousins had seared my bowels like the insertion of white hot coal poker, that my painful excrement now seems festered with pus. With carbon black burn of these cruelties, the pictures are sketched on my brain when I recall with indelible vividness their real faces unhid behind their masks of the Mardi Gras. There still rise to the surface from dark pits of my memories painful black dregs of the carnival where we were relegated to wear the mask of the servants as waiters in the banquets of the carnival. In their prodigal hotels of opulence and waste, our role was simply that of a servant. Our duties were simply as originally applied to serve foods, prepare drinks, and pour water. But we were subjected still further to play the role of the ass, as if we were void of blood, feeling, or fertility. Oh, but the many, many nights that I recall when we complied with the orders of the master to drag his wife and his daughter, ofttimes his mother, from the banquet halls in their stupors of drink and indulgence, there in the room of the hotel above, while we were obliging their request to disrobe their sagging bodies and place them abed to rest in their stupors, they would offer us the pink, white, and yellow of their flesh, whereupon some of us would flee, refusing in the wake of their wrath, fearing more the wraths of our cousins, were we discovered there. Such were the masks they compelled us to wear as the black nigger sons of the Mardi Gras. But oftentimes some of us remained in those locked-off hotel rooms and partook of the flesh of their white women, while we defied our own souls in a desire for revenge, to leave them there limp in exhaustion, withdrawing our organs in the wake of syrupy completion, to deposit the dripping remains to dry and flake on the soft flesh of their warm bodies. How well we knew, come the next morning, that we would receive just rewards or generous tip from the woman, accompanied by her smiles and painted unawareness, for the for she would have been discarded her mask of the Mardi Gras and resumed the resolute and lifeless mask of her existence. So we would hide our time and wait till the following year and the carnival, when she would again feign drunkenness as the lustful excuse to drop and discard this mask in our presence. And this is the very mask, my son, in niggerism, which they forced your black fathers to wear at the Mardi Gras, as she accepted disguise of the servant. But this was not all, for sometimes our alabaster cousin himself would involve many of us in his personal dramas of the carnival. For many of these nights, yes, more often than many, he would insist that we carry him along to personal chambers. There in his slime and filth of his slobber, he would insist that we wash away his own filth and be put abed. Then he would make overtures or even overt suggestions that we comply to leave and slake his own thirst, his desires to be spiritually reduced and physically ravished. He would offer bribes of currency, jewelry, and other gifts, which he would certainly report as thefts on the following morning if we accepted them. Oh, but such and many are other promises our Caucasian cousin would offer in confused surrender to the very color of the flesh he had begun taught to hate and to despise. On how those evenings of the Mardi Gras he would come to drop the mask that he wore, offering the consort unnaturally with our color in his pure drunkenness. This, my son, was his pathetic white bargain for a secret communion with the spirit and soul of a black kind, a nigger.